Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Sai Gaur Premanande.
Hari Hari Bol. Radhe Radhe.
Okay, now is the time for the Bhagavad Gita class. The speaker is going to be on this side here, so if everybody can please face towards where the speaker is going to be there. Yeah, you might have some questions there and you can ask them the questions. Thank you very much. Just take this. Kathi nahi ka keyboard?
Hare Krishna. Jayora Damadava Jaya Kunja Bihari Jayora Damadava Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Damadava Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopi Jana Varaba Jaya Girivaradhari Jaya Gopi Jana Varaba Jaya Radharim Jaya Gopi Janavarava Jaya Girivaradharim Yashodanandana Vraja Janaranjana Yashodanandana Vraja Janaranjana Yashodanandana Vraja Janaranjana Yashodanandana Vraja Janaranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jayo Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari Jayo Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopi Janavarava Jayo Girivaradhari Jaya Gopi Janavarava Jayo Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Vraja Janaranjana Yashodanandana Vraja Janaranjana Yashodanandana Vraja Janaranjana Yashodanandana Vraja Janaranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada, Jaya 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 Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada, Nitta Gora Haribo, 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 Nitta Gora Haribo, Nitta Gora Haribo, 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 Nitta Gora Haribo. Thank you, Mata. Hare Krishna. Is it gonna put up the verse? Give me 1 second. Hare Krishna. Actually, as well, if you'd like to, for all of us, we can chant the Maha Mantra once, and I'm pretty sure that you all know it. So, just let's go together at the same time. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Maybe we can try one more time with a little bit of heart. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Thank you so much. So please repeat along. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Thank you so much. So welcome everyone to this Sunday Love Feast. And as every Sunday we have, programs, activities throughout the whole day. And you can take darshan at different times. There's also prasadam being served at the Haveli. And so we always discuss Bhagavad Gita. So Bhagavad Gita is the song of God spoken by Krishna himself to his dear friend Arjuna. And I'm sure most of you, if not, Haribol, technical programs. Okay, that's good. So that most of you already know about Bhagavad Gita. Okay, so no problem. I just try to speak louder. Right. Can you all hear me? So we'll speak today about Bhagavad Gita, and the verse, as you see on the screen, is actually a verse from the second chapter of Bhagavad Gita, summary content of the Bhagavad Gita, and this is verse 269. It's actually a very famous verse and very poetic at the same time. So because, unfortunately, I wasn't prepared because they told me that I had to give this class only today. So if you can please help me with this. So first of all, I would like to ask for the blessings of all the devotees assembled here, and of course our spiritual teachers and my spiritual master. So we may say something beneficial for all of us and for the whole world, actually. So if you can please repeat after me. Okay, maybe it's gonna work now. Ya Nisha Sarva Bhutanam Tashyam Jagarti Samyami Yasyam Jagarati Bhutani Sanisha Pasyato Mune Yanisha Sarvabhutanam Tasyam Jagarti Samyami Yasyam Jagarati Bhutani Sanisha Pasyato Mune Yanisha Sarvabhutanam Tasyam Jagati Samyami Yasyam Jagati Bhutani Sanisa Pasyato Mune. That's great. Thank you so much. Now let's go to the translation and the purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. So the verse goes, what is night for all beings is time of awakening for the self-controlled, and the time of awakening for all beings is night for the introspective sage. So purport. There are two classes of intelligent men. One is intelligent in material activities for sense gratification. And please just hear because I can't actually, maybe Prabhu you can help. Yeah? Yeah. You just hold down, you press down as I read so everyone can have it on the screen. Yeah. So we can also do word for word if you'd like. So please repeat after me. Ya, what, Nisha is night, Sarva, all Bhutanam, of all living entities, Tasyam, in that, Jakarti, is wakeful, Samyami, the self-controlled, Jasyam, in which Jagrati are awake, Bhutani, all beings, Sa, that is, Nisa, night, Pashyataha, for the introspective, Mune, sage. So again, let's go to the purport. There are two classes of intelligent men. One is intelligent in material activities for sense gratification. You can scroll down, probably. And the other is introspective and awake to the cultivation of self-realization. Activities of the introspective sage or thoughtful man are night for persons materially absorbed. Materialistic persons remain asleep in such night due to their ignorance of self-realization. The introspective sage remains alert in the night of the materialistic man. The sage feels transcendental pleasure in the gradual advancement of spiritual culture, whereas the man in materialistic activities, being asleep to self-realization, dreams of varieties of sense pleasure, feeling sometimes happy and sometimes distressed. In his sleeping condition, the introspective man is always indifferent to materialistic happiness and distress. He goes on with his self-realization activities undisturbed by material reaction. So, before we can go into the verse, I just would like to make some invocation prayers. If you know them, please, you can chant after me. Otherwise, you can just hear. Om Agyana Timirandasya Jananjana Sharakaya Shakshuru Miritam Yena Tashmei Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Shtapitam Yena Bhutare Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamanam Shri Gurum Vaishnavamsha Shri Rupam Sagradatam Sagana Raghunatha Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Shri Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sagana Shri Lalita Shri Vishakavitam Cha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gorangi Radhe Vrindavaneshvari Vrishabhanu Suti Devi Pranamami Hare Priye Vancha Karpatarubhyasha Kripa Sindhu Bhyayevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shiva Shadi Gora Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So I will just read the verse again. What is night for all beings is a time of awakening for the self-controlled, and the time of awakening for all beings is night for the introspective sage. And as I've said before, this is a very poetic verse. It's kind of mysterious, you know. If you first look at it, you may not understand what it means, like what is the verse trying to say. So what does it actually mean? That what is night for all beings is a time of awakening for the self-control. I will just go into my personal experience, practical experience, so we can have a connection. So my name is Rasananda Sankirtan Das. I've been here for about 5 months because I'm pursuing the Bhakti Shastri course. So that is part of my service, to learn as much as I can as a brahmachari, so I can go out and serve my spiritual master. So in this way, I hope that we can, have a common understanding of what this verse means for us. So the way when I first read this verse, what it actually meant for me, because by that time I wasn't a devotee, so I wasn't in Krishna consciousness. So particularly we can understand that the way of life of people who don't have a certain spiritual practice is very different from all the people who are practicing spiritually. And so I've noticed that by the time I started practice Krishna consciousness and was involved with the devotees going to the temple, that there was a huge difference. For example, when people engage in activities like, for example, work, or because me myself at that age, I was very young and I was going to university. So basically I would stay out all night, going to parties and so on. So basically, when I was supposed to be resting in order to have enough energy to, go on with my life courses and so on, what I would do is just to go out and party and engage in all kinds of, activities, material activities. So what you notice that when you are in spiritual life is that actually you spend very little time actually engaged in those sort of activities, no time at all actually engaged in those activities. They said that the devotees is 24 hours engaged in a devotional service, at the highest stage, of course. So what we understand is that there a different perspective in terms of what is night and what is day. For a person, according to their own consciousness and the way they live their life. So I wanted to share something with you, maybe that will help along the discussion to understand actually what is perspective, what is vision, How do we understand things? Because perspective and vision is not just something that means to see, like to actually physically see something. Perspective may be an understanding of something, to have an actually grasp on what it means or what is reality. So oftentimes you can even notice in our language when we want to say I understand what you mean, we may say that yeah, I see what you mean, because it's a form of saying that actually I can grasp it, I can see it, I can perceive it. So by reading this verse, I really was trying to understand what is perception, what is seeing, because many problems that we have within the world today is because of a lack of understanding each other, because we don't see the same thing. We don't live in the same reality. What is day for one person is night for another person. What is food for one person is poison for one person. So how do we understand that, Since we live under the same sun. Actually, the ingredients of a meal is the same pretty much everywhere. So how can we understand this? So I came to the point of this simple let's say, understanding, and with that, we try to understand what is the faculty of seeing. So my understanding is that actual seeing, the perfection of vision, is to actually see the Lord, is to see Krishna. Because if you understand that we come here to see the deities, and obviously, when we are in our early stages, we don't see much, Some people may just see statues, Like many people may come, or those who are not accustomed, to Vedic tradition or Krishna consciousness, that they may come and see just statues, and they may think, wow, those people worshipping statues, this is idol worship or something. This is strange, right? But it's because they don't understand. They don't have the vision. They don't actually have the vision. And how do we have the vision? Because of the spiritual master. So the spiritual master actually gives us the vision to be able to see. So when it comes to the deities, what I often explain to people is like the same way that you have a phone or a computer, for example, which is just an arrangement of different material ingredients, you may agree. So with that, you are able to communicate with a dear one, family member, friend, or whatever, all the way to the other side of the world. Now, how is that possible? Just because manipulating the material energy, isn't it? So it's just that. Scientifically, you may put pieces together, manipulate frequencies, and be able to connect with somebody else on the other side of the globe. So what devotees say, what the acharyas say, is that actually spiritual energy is way more powerful than material energy. So if spiritual energy is way more powerful than material energy, why can you not communicate with people who are actually in the spiritual world via medium, the deities? It's very easy actually to understand. Because through the deities or the Murti, Srila Prabhupada, we can actually be in connection with the spiritual master, with Radha and Krishna, and with Sitaram, Lakshman, Hanuman, and Gauranitai. So in this way, when we come to the temple, we are really trying to develop that vision to be able to see the Lord and to see the devotees, because we say we don't actually see. So something very personal, for example, if you deal with your family, with people around you, you know, you may think that you see them, but what do you actually see? If you see your dearest one, your son, or maybe your partner, what do you actually see? Can you see their soul? Can you see their being, who they are, truly who they are? Can you even see yourself? When we come into a mirror in the morning, what do we see? Do we see ourselves? What was the answer to that? You do. You have transcendental vision, man. So, actually, we say that because we have material eyes, therefore we cannot see what is spiritual, what is Brahman. But Krishna explained the actual vision is to see Brahmanus, to see what is spirit. That is actual vision. That is actual, seeing what is real. So therefore, this is why we see that there's a discrepancy between two different types of vision, material vision and spiritual vision. So the self-introspective sage is not looking at things from the outside, He doesn't use his senses outwardly. He takes his senses and looks within, inwardly. This is why we practice meditation, yoga, mantra meditation, because we're trying to develop that vision where we can come in contact not only with the soul, the Atma, but also with the Paramatma, the super soul within the heart of all living entities. So this a very different type of vision, but when we understand what is the vision that we need to actually see reality and understand things as they are, therefore things become way much easier in life. This is why Prabhupada, when he wrote Bhagavad Gita, he entitled it Bhagavad Gita as it is, because it is actually as it is. This is the word of Krishna that haven't been modified or interpreted in some different ways according to our own, speculation. So this term that we use, Shastra Shakshusha, which means that one can see through the eyes of Shastra, because you may ask, since we have material eyes and we can now actually see what is real and cannot differentiate from what is illusion and what is real, how do we see? How do we know anything? So that's when the Shastra come into play. Because through the Shastra, we can actually understand what is what. We can come out of the darkness of ignorance to the mercy of the devotees and the spiritual master. So this is one of the reasons why Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Tadvidi pranipatina pranipashina sevaya upadeshyanti te jnanam jnaninash tadva darshina. So we should approach spiritual master, saintly people, inquire from them and serve them. Why? Because they have seen the truth. Because they have that transcendental vision that we don't have. And they can guide us within our life in order to attain that perfection of life, which is actually liberation or going back to the spiritual world, back to Godhead. So this verse, as poetic as it is, we understand that actually there's, like we said before, two kinds of vision. So Dhritarashtra, do you guys know who Dhritarashtra is, right? So he's the father of the Kurus, So there's this battle between Arjuna, and his brother, the Pandavas, and the Kurus, And so in the beginning of Bhagavad Gita, the first verse of Bhagavad Gita is actually spoken by Dhritarashtra. And let me find it for you. So that verse is quite interesting. Dhritarashtra says, Dharmakshetre Kurukshetre Samavetta Yuyutsavaha Mammaka Pandavaschaiva Kimakurvata Sanjaya. So he's asking Sanjaya what is happening on the battlefield between, my sons and the sons of Pandu. So we understand that they are from the same family. Pandu and Dhritarashtra, they are brothers. So basically he's talking about his own issue, but he's making a distinction. My sons and them. Why? Because there's a separation there. So we understand that Dhritarashtra is not only blind physically, but he's also blind spiritually because he cannot understand, the situation. He cannot understand that because Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is actually on the side of the Pandavas, there's no chance for his son to actually win this war. Again, this is because it's due to his material blindness and spiritual blindness. So later on in the Mahabharata, Dhritarashtra will ask Krishna, why did all these things happen to me? Why was I born blind? What did I do to deserve this? And why did I have so many sons? And my wife also had to blind herself because of her chastity. So also she was blind. But also all the sons that I had, 100 sons, and they all died in this war. Why did that happen to me? And many people actually may ask this question within the word, why do we suffer? That is the common question. Any, atheist or people who don't understand God or karma may ask, why do we suffer? So Krishna tells Dhritarashtra, actually, in your previous lives, many lifetimes ago, you were a hunter and you were just going through the forest. And with arrows, burning arrows, you shot a nest of birds. And there was the parents' birds and the baby birds, and they all burnt out. But actually, the father of the birds, he escaped, but he was blinded by this. So Krishna explained to him that this is the reason why actually you had to come into this birth and be blind and lose all your son. That's because of what you did before. That is your past karma. But then the church asked him, but it happened so many lifetimes ago. Krishna told him it happened 50 lifetimes ago. And he said, then why is this happening to me now? And Krishna explained to him, because actually to have even one son, he must accumulate a lot of pious credit. It's not just something that happens, You have to be a very pious person. And because, your act was so abominable that it killed many children, that you had, Mother Nature, Maya had to just wait for you to accumulate all that pious credit, and then in one life, take everything away. So that is quite sad, actually. But that is the nature of the world that we live in, Because if we only base our understanding on our limited vision, we cannot understand why do we go through the things we go through within this life. And because Krishna has perfect vision, he can see past, present, and future. He can see everything. He's omniscient because he's God. So he can understand not only what happens in the past, but also what will happen in the future. So for that reason, we take instruction from Krishna from Bhagavad Gita, because he's speaking himself Bhagavad Gita. And in that way, we can have perfect vision, perfect understanding. The same way that Prabhupada often explains that as a child, we may not know what a chair is, for example, what is the purpose of a chair. But, if the father tells us this is what it's used for, therefore, the child, even if yet they don't understand, they can just go and repeat that knowledge, and that knowledge is perfect, because it's given by the Father who knows, who has this perfect knowledge. So I had a little experiment to do, and before I forget it, maybe we can try it out. So I'm gonna pass on something to you. You can pass it on, and maybe you can just try to look at it. You can smell it if you want. I don't advise you to eat it. And then you can try to figure out and tell me what it is. All right? Okay. I'm going to pass them to you. And to you. So just look at it for a while. Pass it on and see if you can figure out what it is. And then you can all try to give me an answer to that. Yeah? So actually, thank you. Actually, this little exercise was just given to us by our wonderful teacher, Paramakaruna Prabhu. we just had a class of Bhakti Shastri today. So he was, showing this little exercise to actually demonstrate a point. And of course, as students, we just repeat what the teacher said. So anyone yet has an idea? Maybe you can start. You know. Okay, tell me, let's start by the younger. This is karma. That is karma. That's what karma looks like. Yo, that's actually very interesting. That's pretty deep. You may know something I don't know. Anyone has any idea of what it is? Yeah. For those who have seen it, any idea? So, let's see. Everyone is going to have a go. Does anybody knows exactly what it is? Do you? You seem like you had an idea. What's your name, Prabhu? Arab? So what do you think that is? You guys are like so deep. I mean, like I wasn't expecting these answers, you know? I just meant like what do you think that is, like pebbles. I was expecting like something like that, you know? Yeah. that may be what it represents for you. But you see, this is what is interesting. According to our own perspective, vision, you know, we see something completely different. No one person here sees the same thing. Yes, sir.
One is black and one is white.
Yeah.
It's to do with what color combination? To identify
What does it have to do with?
it's the way how we see it, basically.
Yeah. So the whole point of this, let me tell you first what it is. So when I asked what it was, this is actually some little, like, you can call them people if you want, but made out of minerals and chemicals. And this actually goes into an egg for you to put in your washing machine so you can wash your clothes. That's what it is. So I love that you went deep into the philosophical thoughts of it, but that is actually what it is. So the point of this exercise is to know that if you don't know what something is, you don't know what the purpose of it. What is the purpose of it? So in order to know what is our purpose in life, we need to know who we are. We need to have self-realization. This is why Prabhupada says in the purport that because the materialist person is blinded to self-realization because he cannot see who he is. Therefore, he will take day as night and night as day. He will completely reverse everything. And that is actually the nature of the material world. So if you see, the spiritual world is real. That is what is actual. You know, and we are in a sleeping condition, like Prabhupada says in the purport. So everything in the material world is actually reversed. You see? So we have description of the spiritual world. The spiritual world is self-effulgent. Everyone in the spiritual world is self-effulgent. You know? There's no darkness in the spiritual world. You know? There's no ignorance. There's no passion. There's only sattva guna, pure goodness. You know? So by attaining this self-realization, by becoming a self-introspective sage, you know, we can come to that point of sattva guna. So this is why, you know, it is said that, you know, our spiritual life begins with inquiry, you know, atato brahma jignasu. So we should inquire into the spiritual nature of things, you know. And we also need to understand the condition that we are in factually right now. So what Prabhupada says is that in our tradition, it's not that we say that, for example, the material world that we live in, that it's not real. The material world that we live in is actually real. But we take it for something else. It's, for example, if you see a rope and you take it for a snake. There's actually something there. There's actually a rope there, but it's not a snake, you know? So the material world is actually the energy of Krishna. But we take it as something else. We take it to be, you know, something that we can enjoy, something we can load it over, you know? And for that reason, we enter into so many problems, you know? So it's already 6:50. So thank you all for coming. I will open it to questions if you have any comment, corrections, and thank you so much for being so attentive. And sorry if I wasn't so much prepared. I'll try to do better. So, do you have any questions or anything you would like to add to the point of vision? And if you can take this with you when you go back home, it's simply that the whole point or this essence of this verse is actual vision. To actually see is to see Krishna. And why? Because Krishna is everything. Krishna is the source of everything. And therefore, for that reason, when we see Krishna, we can see everything as it is, or the reality as it is, you know. But seeing anything other than Krishna means illusion, means we don't actually see. So for that reason, we should try to come as much as we can to the temple, to the Bhaktivedanta Manor, and have darshan of the deities, you know, because by engaging in devotional service, just being here and hearing Bhagavad Gita is itself an activity that's self-purificatory. So by becoming pure, we can develop that vision, that transcendental vision to see things as they are. And in that way, everything in our life becomes perfect. So again, any questions at all? Anything you'd like to... Yes, Prabhu.
Very quickly, it's not to do with this, but can you explain duality and non-duality?
Can you go louder, please?
Can you explain the difference between duality and non-duality?
Duality and non-duality. I may try. So, difference between duality and non-duality is that if you see within our Vaishnava tradition, we often think that, you know, we subscribe to the philosophy of non-duality, or that everything is one. You see? So there's no distinction between, you know, us, God. Everything is just Brahman energy. So any school of thought that prescribe to this philosophy, you know, of non-duality, you know, we call them impersonalists, you know. Sometimes Prabhupada uses the word Mayavad. So basically meaning that everything is just one energy and there's nothing else, you know. So when we talk about duality, is that the school of thought that, you know, ascribe to that philosophy is that actually there's two, you know. There's not only the material energy, you know, but there's also the spiritual energy. So in our tradition, we actually subscribe to that philosophy that there is a duality. There's a difference between God and us, because we have our own individuality, and that is something that is never lost to us. Who you are is who you have always been and who you will always be, you know. And in that way, also Krishna is always who he is, you know. So in that sense, we can understand that within those many actually different schools of thought, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who came 500 years ago, who's actually an incarnation of Krishna himself, he actually took all different school of thoughts, you know, all different philosophy, you know, dual, non-dual, Advaita, Vaita, like this, and he actually harmonized them. So our philosophy is that Chitya Beda Beda Tattva, meaning that everything is simultaneously one and different. You see? So that means that, for example, there's a distinction between us and God, but also we are the same. How is that? We say that we are different in terms of quantity, but we are exactly the same in terms of quality. So just like Krishna is Satchitananda Vigraha, he is full of eternity, he is fully cognizant, and he's also full of bliss. We are also of that same nature, but we are not the same in quantity. And the example that is often given by Prabhupada is the example of the drop of water in the ocean. You see? So within the drop of water, you have the same chemical composition that you have within the ocean. You see? But those atoms, those particles, you know, they are always individual particles, you know. Even if it's mixed with the ocean, those individual particles remain individual particles. So we also are a particle of, you know, soul, or a spark, you know, and we are part of Krishna in that way. But we remain ourselves at all times, you see? So that is quite the difference. Does that help?
Yeah.
Thank you. Any other questions? So if not, So we conclude here. Thank you so much for coming, listening to this attempt at giving a class. And hopefully you come back soon. And now I think that soon gonna have Gorarati. So you may stay for Gorarati. We're gonna sing for the Lord. And the program will continue after in the evening. So thank you so much. Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Okay, there's 4 minutes, so maybe we can do some kirtan as well. Prabhu, do you mind playing katas? Great. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Shira Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Shira Prabhupada, Nitya Gora Haribo, 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 Nitya Gora Haribo, Nitya Gora Haribo, 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 Nitya Gora Haribo.
जय श्री श्री राधा गोकुलानंद की, श्री श्री सीताराम लक्ष्मण हनुमान की, श्री श्री गौनिताय की, Srila Prabhupada ki. So if everyone can please come forward for the Aarti ceremony, and in that way we can make some space for those who will be coming and joining in later. As the Aarti is being performed, we'll be singing this song, the Gaur Aarti song, 1 or 2 lines at a time, and then if you can follow the lead singer, and then afterwards we can go on to chanting the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, and everyone can enthusiastically sing and also dance along with the devotees. Jaya Jaya Gaura Chande Arotika Sobha